my new guest host.
Yeah, exactly. I took over, didn't I?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, well, see, now I can't catch you off guard. That's the whole...
Oh, no, I'm ready now, Jack.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are we ready to
My
start
holy blue jeans, everything.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Terry Funk boots, okay.
Welcome again, folks. Another episode of Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle. Once again, joined by George South and Jake Manning filling in once again. Maybe I'm the permanent host now.
I like that.
I bet you do. Very hard to catch you off guard. But, George, we've spent pretty much the whole week together.
Yes, we have.
We spent the whole Thanksgiving together. We had our best of 4.5.
Yep.
Done in 3 matches.
Done in 3 matches. He beat me 4 times, but we only wrestled 3. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, we spent the whole Thanksgiving and everything together. But of course, the big cherry on top of that whole week was the big Starrcade event on Sunday in Winston-Salem. Can you just kind of talk about that? Because you had a pretty significant role in the whole day.
There's a few things that you're just glad that it's over. And which I enjoyed Wrestlecade, probably the biggest show of this year that I was part of. But it was something to put all that together, from just setting the ring up to get all the guys where they got to be, and everybody knows that deals with professional wrestlers, Bullet, that most of them are idiots, and I'll just say that right off the bat. I am one of them, but most of them, if you gave pro wrestlers a bowl of ice cream, they would screw it up, and Wrestlecade was probably no different. But I was on top of everything as usual. Probably made a lot of guys mad. But I'm going to tell you something, and all you people listening, I've never seen, and I guess I'm always surprised that friendships can be broken over $20. And you know what I'm talking about, Bullet. And I know we all got to push our gimmicks and we all got to be out there, but sometimes it's okay just to be nice to somebody without charging them. That's what I'm talking about this week, Bullet.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to handle. Normally some of these shows you usually just bring your ring, you wrestle, and that's it, and you can just worry about your merchandise. But you were in charge of making sure wrestler A's at point B at time C. Can you just kind of talk about the difficulty of that, and then have to worry about a match?
I've got 5 kids, and getting all them to the supper table takes about a week. So you take 60-something plus pro wrestlers that all think that they're the greatest in the world, and get them to where they need to be is you got to be a genius, which I'm very close to being, Bullet. I thought I was till I jumped into Wrestlecade. And the main thing is you just want people to have a great, great time. It always aggravates me a little bit, Bullet, as you know, that it ain't really the young guys that don't know. You would expect that. But sometimes it's some of these veterans that's been doing it forever that give you the most trouble. And the bottom line to this business, folks, is when the boss tells you to do something, you do it. Whether you agree or not, you do it. And so we butt heads with a few of those guys. I got real aggravated with some of them. They were more worried about selling a $5 pitcher than they were the whole concept of what Wrestlecade was, which was sold out. Just people just wanted to come and have a great, great time. 60-something legends, but there was still all that stuff backstage. And that's what drove me nuts, is I wanted to enjoy the show, as you know. I love seeing some of the guys. Chasing a few of the boys out of my ring, as usual, was always a good way to start things off. And as you said, Bullet, that's probably, I hope, to some of you young kids, one of the things that you may want to accomplish before you retire is get yelled at by me. And I've always got one of those in me, Bullet. But we did it. The show was a very, very huge success. They will be not as, let me just put it this way without letting the cat out of the bag. Some of those guys won't be back. I'll just tell you that. Because if they're back, Mr. Number One and his book won't be back. Because they're nuts. Just pure T nuts. And I want everybody, you know me, Bullet, I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to make money. I want everybody to be so successful, Bullet. But listen, I told most of those guys at Wrestlecade, I've been doing this as long as they have. Don't yell at me. We had 50 gimmick tables. Guys, if you can imagine that. You goof that's running the armory next week that's got, one little picnic table. We had 50 gimmick tables set up that I had to put guys at. And I never seen nothing like before. We did, Bullet. great mastermind. We all come together. We pulled it right out, brother. Town of Winston-Salem will never be the same.
Well, let's talk about how important the guy who put the show on, Tracy, I believe was his name.
Yes.
How important he was to the community and what he tried to give back to the show.
Yeah, and I'll tell you.
Let's try to mention Tracy because he did put quite a bit of work.
He sure
into
did.
this.
You know, Tracy Myers there, Tracy Myers Auto has been family business there for many, many years and has become a real good friend of mine, very successful businessman. He's also wrote several books himself, and he just had a concept of just bringing back some of the legends that were there and some of the newer guys and just doing something and giving back. 100% of our Wrestlecade, of course, went to Toys for Tots, which I wished we had a videotape of my famous meeting with all those guys before the show, explaining to them that 100% of this went to a good cause. And this just goes back to what I said a while ago. Tracy Myers did not have to take a chance with some of our guys. That's what I was there for, to make sure that nothing reached him that was bad. It would come through me first. And I just tried to make it calm for everybody involved and hope I was able to do that. It took me a week. The show was only 2 days ago, but it's took me a week to get over it, Bullet. So, but it was very, very successful. It's just you have to treat pro wrestlers sometimes like a daycare. I'm just telling you. My 5-year-old grandbaby acts more mature than some of those wrestlers at Wrestlecade. I had to say it, Jack. I had to say it. But we pulled it off. So thanks to Tracy and his whole family for just a great show. And we're coming back next year. I've already heard through the grapevine, Bullet, not some stupid kayfabe sheet. I don't even know if they're still around. I actually read them myself, Bullet. That's how I find out what town I'm in. But, man, I'm on everybody.
Yeah,
but,
you are.
Well, I've heard that.
I'll sit back.
Yeah. I don't know.
If you want me to hold the book,
yeah, hold my book, Dad Barnett. Listen, next year, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, Wrestlecade will be coming back, Bullet. So, okay, I'm happy. I love everybody.
Well, another thing about Tracy, I think we should mention is, you know, he could have done a concert, as a benefit.
Yeah. That's
but
exactly
because
right.
he loves professional wrestling, he chose professional wrestling to be his vehicle to give back to the
That's
community.
exactly right.
And there were some wrestlers that benefited from that, as well as the Toys for Tots.
Yes.
You know.
And you know, old timers used to tell me that pro wrestling is the greatest. This is what I want you folks to get from this interview, this TV show today. The old timers used to tell me pro wrestling is the greatest business in the world till wrestlers get in it. If I can find a way to run this and to run a show without pro wrestlers, I'll be the greatest, successfulest place in the world. But I'm telling you right now, folks, you want to run a show, guys, any promoters out there, don't use no wrestlers. I'm telling you, if you use pro wrestlers to do a wrestling show, it's probably going to blow up in your face. I'm just telling you that right now. As you can tell, Bullet, this week, I don't like pro wrestlers. I'm just telling you right now. So,
well, I went from guys that don't have a nickname to just pro wrestlers.
Hey, I'm covering them all this week. Last week it was the ones with a nickname. This week it's every one of them. As you said, good point, Bullet. Tracy could have done anything. Pizza dinners, spaghetti dinners, anything to raise money, or they could have just donated a toy. But he took a chance with us, and it was a success. I'm not just being hard on the guys. I would just like to know, as we probably need to wrap up, our cameraman's doing this, whatever that means.
No, he's just stretching.
He's just stretching. I'm sorry. Oh, he's just stretching.
No, that's
that's pretty good, Bullet. I had a good point. What was that, Bullet? Tracy could have took a chance with anybody, but he took a chance with us. And I just wish I could, and I will find out, maybe for the next episode, is I'd like to know how many pro wrestlers said thank you. Oh, Bullet, don't even mention that, buddy.
Well, before we close, there's one thing that I think we got out of this weekend, and it's also kind of an underlining thing, and I think a part of the problem of some of the conflicts that happen with Wrestlecade is that wrestlers probably take themselves too seriously.
Yes, they do.
In and out of the ring.
Yes, they do.
A show that we were at, it seemed like everybody was trying to be so serious.
Yes.
And it's almost like people didn't buy it.
Yeah.
But, not to just single us out, but it seemed like when we were in the ring and we were having fun, people got behind the fun. And the fun parts of Wrestlecade, people got behind.
They sure did. They sure did.
And I think that sometimes maybe wrestlers take themselves.
Well, as I was going around the back at Wrestlecade, and that's so true, Bullet, and just getting the guys together, telling them what match they had or where they needed to be. Sometimes I just look at them and just blink sometimes when they, like you said, they don't even know how to laugh. They take this stuff too serious. I told several of them at Wrestlecade, we're not coming back next week. You know, it's like they thought we were going to shoot a big angle. Several of the guys didn't want to wrestle their best friend. That is the stupidest thing. I would wrestle my grandma if it paid the cable bill. I'm just telling you that right now. So some of those things, you're sitting there. One guy was worried. We did our little dry eraser board, and I had all the matches listed so people would actually leave me alone. Out beside it, I put the time limits. Well, I had one goof come up to me and asked me, did I not kayfabe anymore? Because I'd put the times up on there. And he was afraid that the marks would see it. Like anybody even knows what a mark is right now. There's no marks left because they're all in the wrestling ring now. So I said, well, the biggest company in the world announced that wrestling was a work. What do you think I'm going to do with a little dry eraser board? So anyway, I know I'm getting carried away here, but I'm just a little aggravated, Bullet. But it was a success. We got through the little rough edges, and I'll be back. I don't know if some of the others will, but wrestlers just need to calm down, like you said, and just have fun. Biggest thing, we close with this right here. True story here, fans, believe it or not, for the ones that was in the dressing room. I'd had a great day, man. Visited with Gino Hernandez before. Had a great day, Bullet. A guy comes walking in the dressing room, a pro wrestler, had his little gimmick outlaw bag with 2 wheels, and he had his championship belt on his shoulder, Bullet. You know that. He walks in. I said, who are you? He said, I'm the champion. I said, excuse you're what? He said, I'm the champion. Now, yet I do not know this guy's name. Don't know where he came from. But he told me he was a champion. And I said, you goofball, in a dressing room full of wrestlers, in a business that's a work, don't tell us you're a champion. Oh, my goodness. So, with that closing sweet note, I love everybody.
Well, that wraps it up for this episode of Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle. We're actually going to be off next week because...
we're traveling, buddy.
The guest host and the permanent host will both be out.
Hey, no matter what this book says, we do got to go to work.
Yes, so there actually is work to be done.
So just watch this episode again till we get back.
That's right.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good to me. So thank you for joining us once again.